What if I told you that Moses, the great lawgiver of Israel, the prophet who spoke to God face to face, lived through one of the most controversial marriages in the Bible, and even faced a scandalous divorce and second union that shocked his own people? This isn't the Moses you usually hear about in Sunday school. This is the hidden human side of his story, filled with love, conflict, betrayal, and divine intervention. Before his marriage, Moses lived in two very different worlds. First, as a prince of Egypt, trained in all the wisdom of Pharaoh's court, clothed in royal splendor. Then after killing an Egyptian, he became a fugitive, reduced to a shepherd in the wilderness of Midian. And it was here, stripped of power, that destiny led him to the household of Jethro, the priest of Midian. When Moses defended Jethro's daughters at the well, he was welcomed into their home and given Zipporah as his wife. Their union brought him two sons, Gershom and Eleazar. Yet cracks began to form almost immediately. On the road back to Egypt, God nearly struck Moses dead because his son had not been circumcised. Zipporah, in anger and fear, grabbed a flint knife, circumcised her son, and threw the blood at Moses' feet, calling him a bridegroom of blood. Ancient rabbis saw this as a moment of deep marital strife, a clash between Midianite customs and the covenant of Israel. Some midrashic traditions go even further. They suggest that Zipporah was not always supportive of Moses' calling. The long absences, the burden of leadership, and Moses' overwhelming closeness with God may have left her feeling sidelined. Rabbinic commentaries even hint that Moses, like other prophets, may have chosen separation from his wife to remain in constant readiness for God's voice. Thus, some traditions hold that Zipporah and Moses eventually separated or divorced during the wilderness journey. But the story doesn't end there. A shocking twist emerges in the book of Numbers. Moses took a second wife, a Cushite woman from the land of Cush, often identified with ancient Ethiopia or Nubia. This stirred immediate controversy. Miriam and Aaron, his own siblings, confronted him and mocked his choice. Some scholars argue they were offended by her foreign origins. Others believe it was her dark skin. And still others suggest it was jealousy that Moses had dared to step outside cultural expectations. God's reaction was swift and terrifying. Miriam was struck with leprosy, her skin turning white as snow as if to contrast her prejudice against the Cushite woman's complexion. God made it clear that Moses' decision was under his divine authority, not human approval. But who was this mysterious Cushite woman? Jewish and Ethiopian traditions give us fascinating clues. The ancient historian Josephus claimed Moses once led an Egyptian military campaign against the kingdom of Cush. During this time, he reportedly married a Cushite princess named Tharbis. Some traditions believe that this earlier marriage resurfaced later in his life, explaining the mysterious reference in Numbers 12. Other Ethiopian legends, especially those tied to the Kebra Nagast, suggest a connection between Moses and the royal families of Cush, hinting that his marriage may have been more than personal, but also a political and spiritual alliance that symbolized God's global reach. So what really happened? Did Moses divorce Zipporah quietly and remarry? Was the Cushite wife the princess he had married years earlier during his time in Egypt? Or was this all part of God's plan to challenge the narrow-mindedness of Israel, by showing that his covenant extended beyond race, culture, and tradition? Whatever the truth, one thing is clear. Moses was not just the towering prophet of law and miracles. He was also a man whose personal life carried hidden struggles, public criticism, and decisions that shocked his own family. His controversial divorce and second marriage remain one of the most mysterious episodes in the Bible. So was Moses' marriage to the Cushite woman an act of scandal? Or was it a divine sign that God's love and covenant could never be limited by human prejudice? The truth may be deeper than we realize. If this hidden side of Moses' life fascinated you, then get ready, because in my next video we'll uncover even more untold secrets of the Bible, the kind that shake everything you thought you knew. Don't miss it.